Hawaii, Tahiti, Eastern, and even up into Micronesia, what we call Micronesia, but there's a kind of a movement going on where it's not just Polynesia, Melanesia, Micronesia, but it's the Basa, the Pacifica. Pacifica is the Palangine, but for the islanders, it's the Basa, which is a more expansive, more inclusive term, which I think we may not be hearing that a lot right now, but I think in the future you're going to hear a lot about that coming up. Anyways, welcome to our class. As usual, with all things Samoan, we always start with a prayer. Don't worry, I know we already started eating, don't worry about that. But we're just getting started, so I'm going to go ahead and say a prayer for us so that we can start our class. Heavenly Father, we just come before you this day. We bless you and praise you and give you all the praise that you are, because you are a worthy God. You are an awesome God, and we love you and we bless you and praise you, Father. Thank you for this day. Thank you for bringing us together so that we can learn a little bit about our people and our history. Thank you for bringing us together so that we can fellowship and get to know each other as one people under below you in this world, making our way in this land. Father, we thank you for all of your blessings, for bringing us here to this day, another day that we can rejoice. Thank you for this food. We ask that you bless it, provide us with strength and nourishment through it. We ask that you be with us today as we learn. Help us to keep our minds open and to hear what is being taught. Be with our families after we leave this place. Be with us as we go home and travel. Be with all of our family wherever they may be. In your Son's name we pray. Amen. So, just a little bit of history for everybody, just so you know. For Samoan people, and maybe for island people, it's important that we acknowledge our God. And we always ask at the beginning of almost every ceremony, anytime that Samoan people get together, formally, pretty much you start off with a prayer and you end with a prayer. So, I know we live in this land where there's so many different cultures, so many different religions, and I'm not trying to preach to anybody, but we need to acknowledge that we do have one Lord, that he takes care of us, right? And we've always been that way. Island people have always had a God, and have always worshipped a God. So it's an important part of the culture, historically. So today, I think we're going to do a little bit of review as to what went on last week. We're going to do some introductions. I do want to introduce our members that are available, that came in today. If I can just have you guys raise your hands or stand up. Paola is our secretary. Namamana Doreen is my beautiful wife, and she's also a member. Almoa J. Tabiawa, you guys have already met him. He's our treasurer. We also have Namula Albert Ainu, who is a board of directors member. He's one of the board. Valasi Alailima is also a member and executive assistant, and all around that person. So, and of course, Roots at the Ring, one of our founding. I think we're right here from the beginning, right? Yeah. So Roots at the Ring is also one of our members.
He's our newest member.
Our newest member.
Yeah, from FIFA.
Oh, we have two new members. These guys, I want to have these guys introduce themselves.
And make them stand.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Tim. Yeah, I signed up. I set my life on the Valley Rise. Yeah, I grew up in Hawaii, though.
my God.
I am honored
The members of our association and their daughter, Tewila Moa, is one of our board of directors members. So we'd like to encourage everybody to join if you have a chance. It doesn't cost a lot, except in time. Seems like we put in a lot of time. So, introductions, homework and vocab review. Who did their homework last week? Nobody did their homework last. What was the homework? Anybody remember the homework? Wear your Lava Lava 2 days and practice your vocab. So, do you remember what the vocab was? So we have we're going to do that review real quick. If you could hand those up. Hold it. So as we're handing those out, we're going to do a really quick icebreaker. So what we want to do, there you go. So we're going to practice our Samoan just a little bit. Right up here, I don't know if you can see that. And it says, Talofa, Olo'ui Moa O. Share your background, share if you know where your family's from. So, Talofa, Olo'ui Moa O. Bobby Thomas, Alakima. I'm the president of TSA San Diego, and my family, my dad's family comes from Sapali, my mom's family comes from Wata in Samoa, so that's a little bit about me. I'm going to go ahead and pass this around. Don't be scared, don't be scared, but we'll just go ahead and pass it around. Talofa Olo'ui Moa O.
Talofa Olo'imoa Janelle. I'm a friend of all Aussies, and my family is from Tuan.
Very good.
Talofa Olo'imoa Samoan. My mom comes from Samoa, and my dad's from Samoa.
Good.
My dad is from Guam and my mom is from the Philippines.
Talofa Olo'imoa Valasi. My dad is from South Africa and my mom is from Alibata.
That's about get your Samoan in.
I try my best. Talofa, Tulani. Stay with Michael, trip with family. Not much else.
Okay.
I'm dad and Olo'imoa.
Olo'ui Moa.
I'm sorry. My mom is from Anamai and my dad's from Puerto Rico.
Come on, Blessing.
Talofa, my name is Rosary Smith. Olo'imoa or Rosary Smith. I am from Anamai.
Talofa Olo'imoa Ana. My dad is from
Talofa Olo Timu. I feel like this is all.
My mom is Hawaiian and my dad is Samoan. Talofa Olo'ulimoa o Tiarapalo. My dad is from Palatono and my mom is from Maui.
Talofa Olo Sarai. My dad's from Palu, and my mom's from Palu.
Thank you very much.
This side.
We do have this side. Oh, come on, you can say Tahoe. Just say Tahoe. Say Tahoe. We start off with Tahoe. Thank you, everybody. We start off with Tahoe, but it gets easier. You got to practice a little bit. So last week's on your flyer or the handout just now, we got both last week's words and this week's words. So last week we have Tahoe, which everybody knows right now means hello. Tofa soy fua, goodbye. Pia ai, hungry, want to eat. Sal, go. Mahalo, it's like what's up? It's like a greeting. But there's more to it than that word is very deep. Ioe, yes. Leai, no. Piainu, thirsty, want to drink. Pa'amole, please. Pa'apetai, thank you. Malahau, call me. On the backside is today's vocabulary. Today's vocabulary, we have only a couple more. So, it just kind of works off of Talofa, the words that we had last week. So Talofa, we have Tayal Manuia, which is Tayal meaning morning, Manuia means good. So it's kind of like saying Tayal Manuia. Kind of more of a lately thing that we've been using a lot, Tayal Manuia. Good morning. And then goodbye, Manuia Leaso. So Manuia Leaso is like, have a good day. So you guys know Tofa Soifua. This is another way to say goodbye, Manuia Leaso. Tia ai. So tia ai is kind of like want to eat. Not really, I'm hungry, although that's what it means. But when you break it down, two words, tia and ai. So the word I is eat. So tia is a prefix that basically throws that in a bunch of different words, a lot of different verbs, and which we'll get into. But the basic word for tia I is eat, which is I. So as the other one was sao. So sao is when you're talking to one person. You say to one person, sao. But when you're saying to a group of people, you can't say sao. You have to say, oh my. So now you're talking to more than one person. So by the same token, you have, when you say amu, it's actually o when there's more than one person. So if there's two or more people, you would say go. If there's only two, you could say let's go, which you would say ta'o. So ta'o, ta'ua, lela'o, we're gonna go ta'o. But if there's more than two of you, then you say ta'to'o. So there's I think it's called conjugation. So the verb is conjugated. The base verb is alu, or go. And then so when there's two people, ta'o. More than two, ta'to'o. And then o'atu. So they're gone. So that once again, the premise is that there is more than one person because you say o. So o'atu is not just a alu, but they've gone. So more than two people, a group of people, more than two, or actually you can start with two, more than one person. O'atu, that's they've gone. So also we had ioe last week. Ioe is basic for yes. Also, emafai. So, can you do it? Ioe, emafai. I can do that. Can you do it? Le'ai, elemafai. Elemafai, that's another way of saying, no, I can't. No. Base word I, base word of last week, hiainu was inu. That's to drink. And then, so we have Fesidi, which is question. So last week we learned the word pakuanamole, and so pakuanamole is please. So when you ask somebody something, you know, when you ask somebody, you say, Fesidi, I have a question. Fesidi, I have a Fesidi. Or you can add, and somebody would tell you. So you go ask somebody, and then you would say, alu fesidi to that person. So fesidi is ask, kind of playing off of pakuanamole. Tautala, to speak. Fa'alomo, hear. And then we have our family. So we have tautala, fa'alomo, family, tama, tina, uso, which is a deep concept, which we'll get into, tuamane, tuafafine, and aina. So your whole family is your aina, your father is your tama, your mother is your tina, your uso is if you are female and you're talking about your sister, you say uso. If you are female and you're talking about your brother, you say tuamane. So if you are male and you're talking about your brother, you say uso. If you're male and you're talking about your sister, you say tuafafine. So the concept of uso is your sibling of the same sex as you. So that's your uso. Uso is a very special word. You hear that spoken frequently between people that are not related, if you really care about that. If you're close, if you're tight, you say uso. In the street parlance, you know, a lot of, it's kind of hip to say uso, or us. But that comes down to uso, which is really something that you shouldn't be throwing it around very lightly. If you say us, you should be really tight with that person. If you're calling somebody uso, girls, females, when you call somebody, another lady uso, you should be tight with them. Or their family, or they are your actual siblings. So that's the concept of uso, tuamane, tuafafine. Questions, basic questions. What? Olea. Olea. Who? Oaina. Oaina. Where? Ofea. Ofea. When? Afea. So Ofea is where, Afea is when. Aisea. Why? Aisea. And Mike, how you doing? How are you? Mike. So basic questions for you guys to add to your vocabulary. More important to what's going on for today, before we get into, when we transition into our main topic today, we have words that you guys may or may not hear today, but that pertains to the subject matter. Vital, water. Vasa, that's basically the ocean. Nabu, wave, as in a wave. Nabu. Saviti, wind. Another word for Saviti is Matami, but Saviti for right now. Sami is also another word for ocean. Nu is land or island. Nu. Hitu, that's your stars. Al, clouds, owl. Va is the boat. Va. And Aliyah is a type of boat. So type of boat is the Aliyah. Oh, this was supposed to be called Bao. So this was actually, so if you could correct your spelling on that, it's actually P-A-O. So Bao Bao, which is a small outrigger. Your everyday outrigger that you use to get around the lagoon. Or if you're that good, go out and fish in the deep sea with your Bao Bao. Taya is your morning. Yapi Yapi is the evening. Po is night. That's the night. Leauli is in the afternoon. Langi, heavens. Langi, basically the earth, under the heavens. So Langi is under the heavens. So just a couple words that we learned today. Make sure that you took your notes, and hopefully we'll be reviewing and adding to that with our other classes. So what I want to do right now is I want to introduce our board member that is going to introduce our speaker today. So last week I didn't get a chance to really get into introducing our board member properly. Namula Albert Ayuru is the one that I'm referring to. He actually had a lot to do with the change of government in Samoa when we went from HHRP to where we're at right now, the FAST. Because of media and because of a movement that he founded, which was SSIT. Samoa, Namu, can you remind me of SSIT?
Solidarity.
Samoa Solidarity International Group, right? So SSIT was kind of instigate some political movement in Samoa that helped to change the government there. So in the meantime, he's also an avid musician, bass player. He's playing all around the county. And more importantly than that, he's a very wise person that you guys should get to know. If you get a chance to talk with Namula about business, about music, about culture, he is a very great resource for you guys to get a hold of. So if you get a chance to speak with him. In the meantime, I'm going to have him introduce our guest today, who's going to talk to us about navigation. So please put your hands together for Namula.
So, thank you for the introduction. Are there any questions from what was just discussed? Anyone? Well, first of all, I want to thank the president. Bobby is the president of the Soccer Association in San Diego, and he's been very diligent in making sure that we do programs like this, securing funding, organizing our team so that we can make things like this happen. So we want to give him another round of applause. So I want to also bring up Award. Can you come up, please? So the reason I want to bring Award, so that we understand Award is there's two of us in this committee. We'd like to have more of you involved in our committee for culture, education, and some community service. So Award is the he's a treasurer, so it's good to have him on our board, on our committee, because he got the money. But he's also very influential. He said we need more money. So this is Award and myself, we're the committee members. If anybody's interested in joining our committee, come on board. We need more classes. What you saw today when he explained the words, we need in-depth language classes. We need in-depth culture. Samoa, like the Agua ceremony, the Launo, all of those things need separate courses. We're just giving you the introduction. So thank you very much, Award. A big hand for Award. The other part I wanted to bring up today is it's not the class that we initially intended, but the reverend that was supposed to teach was not available. And so we were at PIPA at the booth, and this gentleman walked in and we started talking, and he indicated that he was one of the founding members of the Pacific Voyagers. And I mean, his roots go deep when it comes to voyaging and navigation. But this is knowledge that was lost. We lost this knowledge. We didn't have this knowledge, I think, since the early 1900s we stopped sailing, as far as Samoa is concerned. Now, luckily, guess who was still sailing? The Micronesians. So when they built the Hokulea, which was built on our speaker's land, that's why his roots go real deep in this knowledge. They went to the Micronesians and they got somebody who was still practicing the original way of sailing. And they were able to get him to give us and teach us the knowledge that we lost. Like I said, we used to be called the navigators of the Pacific, Samoans, but we haven't done this for so long that we lost this knowledge. So this is why when he spoke to me at PIPA, I said, man, we need this class. So I want to introduce Hiapo Elderts, who is a very influential person in the Hawaiian community, especially when it comes to certain arts like martial arts, the Lua, let me see, I don't want to say it wrong. Lua is their version of martial arts. We have Limalama, and these are secret arts that we don't really share this. And but now it's time for us to get into these things. Our DNA is built on navigation. We were the ones who sailed before everybody else. We were sailing. And we knew how to get from here to the Americas, from here to Madagascar, from here to, everywhere on the planet. We can find our way anywhere. So, that's why we're kind of nosy. But we do have a curiosity, and that's what I want to do, is present Mr. Hiapo Elderts. As you can see, his bio is extensive. So, everybody.
Yeah, hello everybody. Hello. Thank you guys for having me. I think it's a blessing, and I love everything that this is going on here. I wish more of our community was doing this, and like what I was saying, that made a big focus. I knew I had to come, and I wanted to teach this in Makaliki game. So you'll probably see a people for Makaliki game. So first thing, I hate speaking. I'm like, this is the worst thing I hate to do. But I love to teach our culture. I love our culture. And I've been blessed to have really good teachers. I'm a country boy, so I've just been here for a year and a half now. And so now I need to reach out to my community. And I just, I was talking and I was like, wait, I gotta be a part of this. This is what you guys like. You may not like it because I saw the first class. I'm going to do some stuff in the first class. And I'm going to test you guys too while I'm speaking, because I don't want nobody falling asleep. And if you guys get sleepy, you can do some Makaliki games, break it up. So that's me. I don't know. This is pretty good. But yeah, I sailed to all these islands. My connection with Samoa, how I got with the Pacific Voyagers, was from John Niski, who we're going to go over. So I have a strong connection. I'm in your history books. We sailed to Samoa. I opened up your 50th anniversary with UB40. You guys know the UB40? They came, we sailed with us, and they opened the concert. So we had a blast. So I have a very strong connection with Samoa community. Okay, so what I'm going to teach you guys, because I have so much information, so I got to these slides and keep me on track, otherwise I start going all over the place. So we'll go to the star compass. So what I'm going to teach you guys, I'm going to teach you guys the basics of the star compass. There's so much to go in, so I'm just going to teach you, and you guys are going to have homework on it, okay? So we're going to go over this, and the reason why I'm one of the only guys, I teach the star compass, but because I'm a 10-year merchant mariner, so I teach the degrees and the north by northeast. Okay, so first off the bat, I kind of want to explain that, because if you guys take this, because really I'm planting the seed, and if you guys want to take this even more, then you guys can. But if you're out on a canoe, on the pond, right? What is the name for canoe? And you get stuck or you get in trouble and you gotta call the Coast Guard. You cannot tell the Coast Guard, oh, the Coast Guard, where you at? And you say, oh, I'm traveling in Maleo, which means the bush. Maleo is the bush. Okay, here's your vocabulary. One of the houses is Malana. What is heaven? Okay, just went over it. What is it? There you go. Same, not similar. Pronounce the same. The connection, you guys are going to see so much of the connections here. So that's why not only are we going to learn the name, but north by northeast and the degrees. So that's the basics of it. And then you guys are going to get a little, which nobody helped me to learn this. So I'm going to teach you guys the little tricks so you guys can learn it a little bit faster. Okay? So when the Pacific Voyagers came, Nainoa Thomas made this. He took the knowledge from Pakamau. And Nainoa is so incredible. He just made this to make it easier for everybody to learn. Then all the Tahitian, Fijian, he gave them permission to put it into their language. So I also put it into Samoa, then the church. So you guys have that. But that's for later on. Everybody has to learn the Hawaiian way, but then it tells you the basics of life. And then you can see the relationship to it. So I just want to explain that off the bat. But I want you guys to have fun too. So next slide, keep me on track. Okay, so the last class, I'll be explaining to you guys how the Chumash tribe that are here in California, because I'm also going to teach you guys the connections of California, so you guys can be proud Samoans from California also. So this is the Chumash. How he was telling you guys how they're the only guys that have the blank canoes and how they're weaved together. If you look at our Polynesian canoes with the, so I brought an example on that to reiterate on what Hiapo Elderts told you guys. is the Chumash, and this is the Tahitian. This is our Polynesian. We use ulu sap to stick the boards together. They use tar because there's so much oil out there. That's why all the oil rigs are out there. So when the tar bubbled up, the Chumash would put that instead of ulu. And then he also talked about the fish hooks. That's how we know there's a strong connection with the Chumash. The Chumash are the only guys that have the plankton hooks. All the other, we go map here because a lot of times they don't show Easter Island. Okay? Easter Island is part of the Polynesian tribe. But as I was saying before, really the Europeans is the ones that separated us. Really we're using more terms as oceanic or Pacific Islander people because they try to separate us. But really we're all one. Papa Mau comes from over here. Did these people sail over here? Absolutely. Did they sail down here? This is how the migration, I'm going to show you. What didn't go in is how we know that we come out of China is because of the Lapita people and the Lapita pottery. Okay. So this is the migration. This is the whole migration all the way to Madagascar. We came out of China, it shows the dates with the Maoris being the last one. Because they came out of the Cook Islands. They killed their priests and then they went to the Cook Islands. Maoris are a little bit different because they're so close to Antarctica, they don't have like bananas and papayas and stuff like that, where it basically is off of birds and seafood. So that's why they're a little bit different. And then the other association with the South Pacific is what's on all the flights in the South Pacific. What is the common thing that's on the flights? Southern Cross. Southern Cross, exactly. So you're going to see more of the connections, more of the connections. As the migration came, we got better and better with saving. We went from a single hole to double hole. Tonga, Fiji, Samoa. As we got better and better, we ventured out to the farther islands. And we got better and better. With Rapa Nui, our social area that we all know is we all moved to Tahiti. And how Uncle was talking about last, how they found the DNA from the Chicos in South America that came from Rapa Nui. Rapa Nui could only go over to Tahiti like 3 months out of the year. They could go. The good sailors could tap and they could go. But we all went to Papa Hotel. We all have a connection with right there. That was our main temple. So that's how we traded. That's how the chicken got over there, the sweet potato got all over. So just to give you guys a little bit of background there. I'm going to share with you some of the story. So Jewish people, Jewish community, they're really good. They keep together themselves, their religions and their cultures, which we need to do, which I see happening here with what's going on here. Where I'm going with that is that, so with Tahiti and Raiatea and being the temple there, we all had a connection there at one time. We all sailed there and we all went away. We don't know why we stopped sailing. But the common route is, as we got better, we started digging fish ponds, we were being self-sufficient, so we didn't have to trade as much. We were bringing the items that we didn't have here. Our sails, the strongest at that, comparison was in Fiji. They were known. Fiji was known in the Buka, and I felt them. They're so strong. The fibers for the benders, and that was so sought after. So those are the type of things that were going on, and why we were trading, why we were sailing. As we got more self-sufficient, we stopped. That's what happened. So the next slide, I'm going to show you guys how we know from the patterns and the migration of the Lapita. Okay? So the Lapita people came from out here and then migrated. And again, how Tahiti is our focal point, and then everything spread out. We know this by DNA, and we know this by the Lapata pottery. Okay? So these are the Lapita people. similar. You see their weaponry. And then the pottery. The pottery is very distinctive. I'm going to show you guys with another slide. Because they only use dots and they only use like thin little line. Okay. And we know that this is distinctive of the people. This is how we know we came out of China to Taiwan and then migrated. So this is one of the, was telling you guys on the last, one of your guys' last talk. I wanted to re-emphasize this and show you guys. King Kalakaua. You guys went back to 1887 when your three chiefs were fighting for power on who was going to be king. Prior to that, King Kalakaua's sail all over the world, was getting why we had electricity at our palace before the United States, before the White House had it, before the Queen of England had it, because he was going and he was bringing back the knowledge. So in 1881, when he did that, then he was trying to unify the whole Pacific. So he went to Samoa and he went to Tonga and he talked to the kings. And this is what happened. The Germans were heavily influenced at that time, and then we were fighting against the English in America. Because this is just before the Spanish-American War. And they was just land grabs. Just think if we united, if the whole map, if the whole Pacific united as one country, and FESPAC really just happened. All the kings were in one place, and they were talking about that. So just giving you guys these things to think about that and what connects us. What was talked about is Tonga being the last and longest kingdom. If we all went, we're having problems with China. The Chinese owning everything. And if we all went under that, under Kalakaua's meaning to unite us all, we would get all our lands and resources back. So it's just something to think about. It was something that was taught at FESPAC. What is FESPAC? Did you guys see FESPAC? Is it on the internet? Okay, FESPAC is when all 27, 29 Pacific nations only get together, all their practitioners and cultural people get together in one place at one time. So I've been to 3. I've been to Solomon Island. I sailed there. I opened that up. Right after we went to Samoa and opened up the 50th anniversary. And then to Guam, with that, and then now Hawaii. Hawaii won because of our infrastructure in Hawaii, it was more televised, so now more people got to see. So it was awesome to see the love of our people coming together, and I have to love it. But just think if King Kalakaua's plan went into effect, where would we be right now? The Pacific is so big, you see the map. You could put all the continents into the Pacific, and we still have more room in the Pacific. That's how massive we are. Okay? I tell you guys this because we have a saying in Hawaii, when you know who you are, when you know where you come from, when you step off the canoe, you stand there with a call. So that's what I want to share with you guys. That's one of the reasons why. So, how we brought back navigation. So this is Populea. This is the original canoe. This is the mama canoe that was built in 1973. They started building it. I'll tell you the connection from this. So this huge canoe started here in Santa Barbara. I'm going to show you guys Ben Finney. But he was working at Santa Barbara University. And he wanted to bring this back. And he's studying it as an anthropologist. So the original model of the canoe was built here in Santa Barbara, and then they shipped it over to Hawaii and they built it there. So I just want you guys to know those connections with California amongst being Samoan, and so you guys, when we talk about this, because a lot of people in Hawaii don't even know that. So this is my family land. The FESPAC where all the canoes was this past year was in my family land. How do you know? Have you guys ever been to Hawaii? There's a place called Chinaman's Hat, Kulor Ranch. The things are big. There's a lot of Samoans working in the film industry over there right now. So you guys may have friends and family over there. But you see this mountain, used to run into the ocean. But So Hokulea was built on this side of the mountain. This side is called Hapiku. We have 3 great navigators in all of Hawaii. One is Hawaii Loa, who is buried on the other side in the marine base, and Kahai. My family is from this area. So Kahai was the greatest navigator, one of the greatest navigators. He brought the Zulu, the breadfruit tree, to Hawaii. White man on the other side tries to claim that the Lulu was planted there first, but no. You know if you gonna plant the Lulu tree in your yard, you know what I mean? Before you can plant them in white man. So, yeah, Waianae, that's okay. The first Lulu tree was planted in Hapiku. So that's why Hokulea was built in Hapiku. So, and we know this one with the pride of this mountain. And this mountain is called Kalani Kuoko'ola. And so you can see how she was, after she was built, they rolled her in. These are really old pictures from back in 1972. So I'm just going to go over the history of where it started and how we are today. Okay? So this is a breakdown on how every single part of the canoe has a Hawaiian name for it. We'll go into that later. That's more advanced. I just wanted to show you. This is the breakdown. She's 62 feet long. So these are the founders. 1972. Herb Conning, he was an artist. He was going around. He's an anthropologist. He was seeing the differences between the canoes throughout all of Oceania, not only Polynesia. And then this is Tommy Holmes. He was a sailor like himself. And then we have Ben Finley, who came out of UC Santa Barbara, who built the first connection. So I want you guys to know where these are the founding guys. Later on, Pinky Thomas, I noticed Thomas's dad became president and was influential, him and his wife. But I just so you guys have a name with a face. All of these guys have passed away now. So as a great navigator in Tahiti, that Captain Cook died. So when he went to all the different islands, Tupai is the one that communicated with everybody, because our languages are similar, especially within the South Pacific. You guys can all, where Hawaiians, we changed our L's to R's and our T's to K's. So, but even then, it could still come, and it could still come. That's how important language is amongst us. Captain Cook, he knew that, and that's why we got Tupaya. Tupaya, so now we have Papamal, who is our modern day Tupaya at the time. This is one of we call it the little Royale's Proverbs. I was reading over your guys' Proverbs, by the way. All of your Proverbs has something to do with canoe, net, or the water. You know, so that's how important this knowledge is for us. But if I have the courage, it's because I have faith in the knowledge of my ancestors. It's so powerful and so true. I got the privilege, the blessing to sail to his island and to the islands around him and saw 500, 600 plus ulu trees that were planted, 600, 700 years ago. And that was the ancestors already putting into work to plant these plants to ensure that we had trees for the canoes. So that's how we know we're doing things correctly in the lines of our ancestors. This is how we talk. You guys are going to get a little bit more advanced stage, but all of us can teach like this. And usually they start their kids at how old are you guys? Who's the youngest person? How old are you? 8?
5.
5? 5. There we go. 8, you're too old already. Really, they start at 2 and 3 years old. When I met Papa Mal, he told me I'm too old. We'll do something else. But that encouraged me more to the knowledge. But he didn't know I worked on fishing boats and stuff. Yeah, this is a good picture. Yeah, so they start learning at 2 and 3, but they start with songs to help them memorize. And this is it. This is in Carolina. So they had, originally they had 12 schools, and now they're down to 1. This is the last school. It's very hard to pronounce this. I won't even try. And that's the genius of Nainoa. He took this, and Nainoa made the startup as easier for us. And that's one of the things that Nainoa will go down in history, the genius of him. But so all of our startup businesses come from this. So I wanted you guys to see this. Oh.
When we do the circle, we'll have them come back in.
Yeah. So before Paul died, this is one of the last proverbs he said. I have laid the stick that connects people together. Metaphorically using different sticks out of the conversation. Now it's up to you, your generation and the generations to come. Build upon that stick and bridge that I will ensure the free sharing of this information and teaching between two peoples until the day we become united as a single people, as we were once before. And that goes through a know-how that's throughout the whole Pacific, that we're going to unite together at one time. Before men separated us with their imaginary political boundaries of today's Polynesia and Indonesia, they're again trying to bring us up, giving us titles to break us up. Then we come into effect here in Nainoa. So the Moana movie, this is where it comes from. As you guys know, a lot of the people on the Moana movie were from Samoa and from Tonga. So this is Bruce's sister, who is married to Bruce Blankenfield. These are the presidents of the Polynesian Voyaging Society now. And I just wanted you guys to have a picture as I'm talking about Nainoa and what he's bringing to us and what you guys are going to be learning. At least you guys have a visual. And these guys are, if you guys see them in Hawaii, or if you guys got to see Hokulea when she came last November, they were all here, which is rare to have them all together in one place. And they're just beautiful people. And I have just been privileged and blessed for them to give me these kind of opportunities to bring our people closer together and give this knowledge to you guys. So that's why I have this one. Okay, so you guys know the history of how we started on how Hokulea came, how they got together, the Pacific Voyaging Society in 1972 until now. This guy, his name is this guy, he is a philanthropist. He started like the first, what do you call it? When you get jobs, you go to get jobs. No, not job fair. Like you go to them and they got jobs. Temp agency. He started the first temp agency in Germany. So this guy, he is not talked about, and they probably won't until he passed away. So the Pacific Voyagers came about they started in 2008. And what happened is he was vacationing in Cook Islands, and the fest package from the and the Cook Islanders were getting their canoe ready to go to fest pack. And this guy, what are you guys doing? And he's just like, oh, we're getting ready for fest pack. Well, what is fest pack? What is this? So and he learned about the story, the Power Room story that's in the Cook Islands and in Tahiti. And it talks about 7 canoes. Tahiti has 8 canoes in their story. And how they left Tahiti and they went out and they populated the Pacific. And so he's just like, well, that's an awesome story. Man, why don't we recreate that? So what he did was he built these canoes. He built them off of a Cook Island, Tahitian Tiamotu design. And the canoe that this was built on is in the Cook Islands. It's a wooden canoe, which was built from Hokulea, because he said, the Hawaiians have one, we gotta have one. So this guy was going down in history. Not a lot for anybody know this canoe? This is your guys' canoe from okay? He gifted this canoe. These canoes they cost over $1 million to make. After this voyage that we had, it started out as, we're gonna have the people show the world that they can go and travel and not pollute the ocean. And we're gonna have kids and we're gonna make sure that this traditional navigation is not gonna die. Pretty much what the Polynesian Voyage Society. But this guy took it upon himself, and then he gifted these canoes to the places. This is the Tahitian one, this is the Samoan one, Cook Island one. Then we had multi-ones. We had Mari from New Zealand, we had a Fijian. Samoa actually had two. They had one for American Samoa, and then they had one for Samoa. But they had a hurricane hit, and then it damaged it. And so American Samoa was one that got taken away, and Mari, that was how old. So I don't know if anybody was here in 2012 when we came in 2012, but it was pretty awesome to see. So that's how you guys got your canoe, was from this man. So I wanted to explain that and show you guys that. So. And then I'm going to show you guys a video from that. So you guys, I want everybody to see.
Can you plug it in while you play?
Yeah.
We've got to start thinking about leaving the things of the land behind and picking up the things of the ocean.
We're just ordinary people that are believing that we can make a big change.
Embedded in the spirits of a lot of the voyages on these canoes is the strong belief that we can make a difference.
Traveling, the journey that you're taking is the loudest voice I've heard in many, many years.
When we saw you sailing in, we were greeting our family.
It's the pride of knowing that you are of this ocean.
Oceans, in the end, will control the destiny of humans. What are we doing to the big blue canoe?
she was, and now she's been updated and painted now. She's more lighter on the top, and they changed her sails. But, so we were the first ones. Hokulea, when she came in 1995, I don't know if you guys know this, but PIFO was started because of Hokulea coming in 1995, and became the biggest Pacific Island in California. Besides coming to San Francisco, but now PIFO is because he moved in from the Presidio, and then people just stopped coming.
The stand isn't either.
So yeah, so again, that's more of the history between Hawaii and California. But in '95, and also this past one, Hokulea was barged up to Seattle, and then came down, where the Pacific Voyagers were the first ones to sail from Hawaii and got caught in the doldrums, and then into San Francisco, down the coast, down all the way down to Mexico. A lot of those they were stopped in Mexico, and then back into the Pacific for the second longest voyage from Hawaii to California, and then from California back to Tahiti was the two longest legs. I think 29 and 31 days. So, yeah, that's why I'm here. I want you guys to learn this. One of the problems that we're having is we have people that are interested and they want to get on a canoe and they want to learn and they go over there, but our kids, we start them small, so they memorize the houses. So we got to end up spending 3 days and rush, and so they really don't get to learn and memorize the houses the correct way. But that way they get to go on the canoe and they get to pull lines, you know. So what I'm trying to do is to get you guys to learn the basics now, all the classroom work. So when you guys are done with me, you guys are ready to jump on that canoe. And you guys will have the opportunity. You can go to Samoa, you can go to Tahiti. Hawaii is the closest one, and we have schools there. But, you know, I don't know if you guys have family in Aotearoa, but then you have a school in Aotearoa. But I want to give you guys the opportunity to be able to do that. You know, you guys should. So, to the next one. We're going to go into, I'm going to show you one more from, kind of break it up, kind of went a little longer than I want to. But so John Niski, he's the only guy now building traditional Samoan canoes. John Niski is the guy who got me to go with the Pacific Voyagers. So he's such a good friend of mine, and I'm going to end with John Niski. But we show that last one.
The Pacific Ocean is the life blood of our people. It's our home. We're casting off on a 2-year adventure, carrying the message of just how precious our ocean is to us. Reviving the wayfinding brilliance of our ancestors and raising a new generation to become stewards for our ocean. There'll be people out there who look at it and say, what are these crazy people up to? But these are some of the first steps that we're taking to revive the knowledge that allows us to live in harmony and live in sync with our environment.
The hardest part is to make everyone see what we see. And once we can make that happen, I think we have a chance.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna go into John Miskey. Like I said, he was a founding member of the Pacific Voyagers in 2008 while the canoes were being built. And he was a strong presence for the Samoan. He represented you very well. The first crew, the first member, one of the founding members of the Samoan Voyaging Society. Probably going to I'm just going to show that and then we'll end with that. This is another know-how that I know of. When people come together around the common vision, they can accomplish great things. We need the instruments that pull our people together out of our heart. And there's a lot of truth in everything that with the canoe works in real life. What I want to do is bring this to you guys. So you see the canoe, our double hull canoes, they have two sides. One is male and one is female. Okay? So what is it in the middle? Everything is in the middle. Everything is balanced in the middle. So that's why in everyday life, everything can be referred back to the canoe. The canoe is where we come from, where we travel. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I was sharing everything. So John Niski, you're going to see in the film, he promised his grandmother that he was going to build this canoe. And he had a lot of years at that person to get this done, especially living in Aotearoa. And so I really wanted you guys to see this being one of my friends and this canoe getting built so strong.
I think you should lower the stand a little bit.
And then I'll open it up for questions.
Can you go back to the other?
What is that?
Yeah, sorry, sorry.
No, I know what to do. So the video is shot. I didn't want to go back to this one. Okay. We'll go into a break now, and then we're going to go into the sparklers. We'll gather outside. But if you guys have any questions for me, you guys can, while you guys are breaking, we'll break it over to me.
Hey, Paul. Do you see how this got say you right now?
Yeah, they're all saying they're all good. They were all supposed to go to FESPAC, but because of financial COVID killed everything. So that's what FESPAC is. FESPAC is every 4 years. It's on a different island. It's never on the same island. So this past time was in Hawaii, and we were supposed to have 32 of those canoes, but because of COVID, it delayed it for 8 years, and then the money that people have, takes money, for the crew and the food, and then for them to stay. So I was disappointed that Samoa didn't make it, but the Heat came and the Maris came with their canoes, and it was beautiful just to see all those canoes. As you guys can see, when you see those 7 canoes all coming in together, I don't know how that makes you feel, but I get choked up every time. And to have it on my family land and all the canoes, all the Hawaii canoes together. We're missing one canoe from Hawaii. Jared was there. He had the opportunity to go. That's okay with me. Jared is going to sell the Samoa canoe that was built by Mario here. Is now in Saipan. And Jared got to sell Hokulea, got the opportunity to sell Hokulea, which is here in November. So you can ask him some questions too while we're here, while we're eating. You guys didn't get to see that John Misty one? I messed up. I must have didn't put it on there. So, but I'll have that for you guys eventually. So we'll take a break now, because I don't want you guys falling asleep on me. Then we're going to go outside and we're going to go over the Star Compass. I'm going to tell you guys a cheating way on how to do it, and we're going to all get into it, and then we'll be out.
Trying to get back to that reuniting us as a people. Because if you really think about it, we belong to the largest landmass, if you will, the way that it goes, the Pacific Ocean, from one end to the very north, all the way down to Easter Island, to the islands of Micronesia. We call it Micronesia, but they don't have Guam and those islands up there, to Hawaii, all the way down to Aotearoa, New Zealand. So if you really think about it, the amount of space that we take up is the largest of any other place in the planet for a people to occupy. So thank you very much for coming here and sharing that and letting us know that we're a little bit bigger than just Samoa. Just a little bit bigger than just Samoa. So thank you for that and our experiences there. Just want to go over something real quick with you guys to kind of refresh and review our lessons from last week. Remember our lessons from last week? Saying too low when you walk in front of people. Obviously with this type of environment, I'm walking like this. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But in a more formal setting, definitely want to make sure that you mind your P's and Q's. Okay? So, especially if you are with your family, say like you guys are having a church service, everybody's sitting on the floor, people are sitting on the floor, well, you definitely, if you're going to be walking in front of them, try not to walk up next to them, but walk away from them, or walk behind them. So walking behind, that's a big deal. Walking around people. So if you are in a formal gathering, you don't want to be. Sometimes you get tight, but you don't want to be stepping right on top of people. You want to be getting away from them. Get down low, too low, too low, too low. That's part of our culture. Respect. That's all about that respect, right? What was the other one that we were talking about last week? Everybody remember? Sitting down. So a lot of things, when you're standing up and doing things, it can be very rude. It can be very rude. If you're eating and walking, or standing up and eating, or drinking, that's rude in Samoa. Depending on if you're in town, you're in town and you're walking around, you're thirsty, sometimes you just have to. It's not really, nobody's gonna walk up to you and tell you off. But if you want to show that you have a mind, that's what people call it. Right? If you have a mind, know how to think, sit down. Sit down someplace and drink. Take the time to pause. Sit down and drink your water or have your meal. Don't walk around, licking your ice cream. Just like you're a tourist. Show that you have some sense. The other thing is when you're talking to people, if you're talking to a person that's seated, you should get down to their level. At least stoop a little bit, especially if they're older than you. You want to show them that respect. So this is really confrontational. This is less confrontational. This is really respectful. You see, I'm speaking from the side, or behind them, and not in front of them, at them. if they're seated and I'm standing, that's really disrespectful. You definitely don't want to be doing that. I'm just talking to you. So, some places, somebody might get mad, and things start flying. But some places, they just blow it off, just don't know. But, I'm just letting you know. So now you know.
We want our class and our organization to be sort of known for maintaining these standards. So when they see that's a kid from the Samoa Association of San Diego, they know how to behave.
Well, I'm not going to say that you're a kid from Samoa Association, but now you know, right? Now you know. If you didn't know before, now you know. A lot of things that Samoa do when you go someplace, especially if you go to family's house, don't sit around like a bump on a log watching them do stuff. What you want to do is get involved, get in there and clean up, help out, especially if it's like a gathering. If there's say there's a death in the family, say there's a marriage, families come together. And I know most of you guys already know how that happens, but you may not know what's going on. But the family's coming together, and you need to help out. Don't just sit around, sit on your hands, and watch people do stuff. Get in there and help out. Whether it's moving food around, whether it's moving mats around, cleaning up, do something. Do something. That shows your family that you have a mind. Somebody told you, so you were instructed properly. This is kind of the thing about the Samoa. When somebody misbehaves, what's the first thing they say? Anybody? Who's that parent? Who's their parents? Who's their mom and dad? Why didn't they teach them right? So, you should know. If nobody ever told you before that when you misbehave, they ain't looking at just you. They're looking at your family too. Who is that person's family? Who's that mom? Who's their mom? Who's their dad? Why didn't they teach them right? How come they don't know? Well, if nobody ever told you before, I'm telling you now. Now you know. Questions on our vocab? Anybody have any questions real quick on our vocab? Words that we learned today? One of the things that somebody asked me earlier, thank you, was the use of the word uso. The use of the word uso. We throw that around a lot, in our casually, in our everyday conversation. You'll see that people are on the street. Hey, what's going on, Oos? How you doing, Oos? But if you're using that, like I said before, if you're using that, you better be tight to that person, because there's a saying in Samoa that says, "Wo yaso uma, uso yaso vale." What does that mean? Friends for every day, but brothers or sisters, uso, for crazy days. What does that mean when you say crazy days? Who knows? The worst things can happen during those days. When there's a loss, when there's great loss, that's a crazy day. When you're fighting, when you're warring, that's a crazy day. Who do you go to? You go to your uso. So, those are the people that you are close to. Don't just throw it out there. I think you might see some memes where, these guys, they hang around, and they hang around. They may not be Samoan, but they're hanging around Samoan guys. And then all of a sudden, one guy says, "Hey, come on over here, Oos." And then that Papalayan guy says, "Oh, I got the Oos." He called me Uso, right? sparingly to those that deserve it, you know. Aina, so that's basically all our aina. Sumatina uso tu ngane tu fafine. That's your aina. The questions around omai, ta'o, ta'to'o, o'atu, omai. When you hear that word, whoa, automatically you know there's a group, there's more than one person, as opposed to wa'alu. Alu means just go or south. So there's a lot of inferences that's involved. When you hear omai, o'atu, then it must be more than one person that's in it. So same thing when you say ta'o or ta'to'o. There's more words to add to your vocab. Later on, we'll get into sentence structure, and hopefully by the end of the classes, there'll be a little bit of conversational Samoan. You might be able to say a few lines, you might be able to hear the words, understand what's going on, and you might be able to say it. We are not going to be able to teach you Samoan. There's more to it than the time that we're spending here, but we're going to help you out and give you some words that, if you practice them, listen out for them, you'll be able to understand what might be said around where you're at, what you're doing, everyday conversation. So, any questions? Yes.
So for the word uso, would you correct someone, like say if a female were to call a guy uso or a guy to a girl uso?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Did I only say
that is absolutely incorrect. Now, it's kind of, in this day and age, you hear females being called bro. Because you say bro. People are saying, hey bro, this, bro, that. Hang with me, bro. But even though they're talking to a female, right? But, people are using uso as slang. And people are people, and language goes where it goes. So you might come up like that, but just know that's where it's at. We have walk and talk. So on a completely different subject, before we get back to Hiapo and our navigation, we have an event that's coming up in a couple of weeks. It's going to be in the afternoon. It's called our walk. We call it the walk and talk. And basically, we gather together, we take a lap, maybe two, exercise for a little bit, come back to one spot, and listen to some speakers regarding health and physical fitness and mental health. So that's coming up on November or October 26th. October 26th. October 26th. So especially good for your elders that need to get out of the house. One of the best ways to combat what is it? Aging, I guess. Mental decline is physical exercise. Physical exercise is one of the best ways to improve your mental health. So, bring your folks. What we're going to do is just get used to exercise. Nobody's going to get fit in one day. But just get in the habit and let them get into the habit of going to the park, walking around, taking a lap, maybe two. Who knows? In a few months they might be running a marathon if you help them. Okay? But let's not get too aggressive. But anyways, that's what we're doing. One of the activities that we did. I want to invite all of you guys to participate. So, getting back to our main speaker, please give it up to Hiapo Elderts. Okay, on outside.
The first four we're gonna start is the cardinal points: north, south, east, and west. So who's gonna be that team? Okay, so north. North is the first one. We live in the south, so where's the north? Okay, so that's good. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So the sun is going that way, so it rises this way, right? So we know that this is east. We know we live in the south, and that's the north. So go ahead, set up. You already have 3 cardinal points. Okay, you guys watching? Okay, so the next house after that is Haka, which is Ata on your Samoan. So who's going to be the 4 for Ata, or Haka? The Haka team. This is the Haka team. They're going to do Haka afterwards.
And you said
empty. So when you're looking at the north, Polaris is the North Star. That's how we know north. This is advanced. So how we got the names, yeah. Polaris, and it's all in the north. But on the houses on the side of north, true north, there's not too many stars. So that's where we got Haka. Haka is empty. I don't know Haka. Is it okay if everybody that doesn't have a...
Just the ones that have the car.
Yeah, you guys can sit down.
Everybody else sit down except the ones with the...
Okay. So after Ata, what is after Ata? What house is after Ata? Leo. What does Leo mean? Voice. Okay. So let me have that team. Who wants to be the voice? You can sing. She's a good singer. She's a good singer.
in the back.
Now Leo, what does Leo mean? Voice. Oh, you're Samoan Hawaiian too, huh? Okay. No. Look at your chart. Where is Leo? So north, south, east, and west. You guys got your cardinal points. Okay, you got the cardinal points. So you know where that is. So the next house is Haka. So north and south. Haka. Okay. And the degrees are on there. So the lower the degrees, it goes clockwise. So all you math guys, I got that on there for you. I know you're overachievers. Okay, so we got Naleo. Naleo is his name, the voice. Okay, what is after Naleo? And that's Nalani for Hawaiian, which means the heaven. Because by the heaven. So who's heaven? The heavenly team. Didn't know, eh? Yeah. You're next to Naleo, so find Naleo. Where's Naleo? I was like, you guys are heavenly. You guys are by.
I'm over here. I'm over here. Yeah, Leo right by Haka.
Okay, so it worked. So where's north? Where's north?
North here.
Okay, so we're starting this way, yeah? It goes clockwise by the degrees. Okay. So what is after heavenly?
Manu.
Manu. And what does Manu mean?
Bird.
Bird. There you go. So who's gonna be my bird? There we go. Manu. I will make you guys remember this. Where's my voices? Where's my voices? Raise your hand, voices. Okay. Where's my heavenly? Where's my heavenly? Raise your hand. Heavenly. Okay, good. Okay, Manu is right there. Okay, Manu is good. So what is after Manu?
Mongo.
Mongo, what is that?
Some type of bird.
It is. It's a tern bird. Okay. No, well, it's in Hawaiian, and we have those same birds out here. Because I was surfing last week, and they were diving all around me. They steal fish from one another.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So who's my other birds? You guys gonna be birds? Okay.
Right next to.
Okay, you're gonna be right next to the other bird, Manu. Okay, we need four. Four, you guys. Come on, little birdie. There's another Manu there. But the.
Yeah, right here. No,
You right here, right next to me. Well, actually, you're 303. So who's 303? You're gonna go there because it goes this way.
This right here?
So yeah, so little bird over here. This side, you're gonna keep her there?
Yeah.
Okay, 3 something. Okay, what is after? What's the next house?
Aina.
What does that mean?
Family.
Oh, that's different. That means family. So in Hawaiian it's Aina. And Aina is our land. Yeah. So who's gonna be our land? Okay. Yeah. Well, this one first.
Aina.
Okay, and then. Yep. And then. Oh, Aina. Oh wait. Aina. Okay, and then our last one,
Law.
which is the same in Hawaiian and Samoan.
Sun.
And what does law mean? Sun. Okay. Hey, fellas.
We need the suns.
We need some sun.
They're like, oh man, they need it.
Thanks, guys.
You're the sun. You're the sun.
And then I need 2 more suns, 2 more laws over here. Okay. So where's my heavenly people? Who's there? Heavenly. Alani. Yeah. Good. Okay, so the cheat way, okay, to memorize these things, to memorize the houses. Okay, each house is 11.5 the measurement for every house, okay? And then as that all goes around, that's 360, right? 360 degrees. So we had it down. Those guys, we had it down back then. We didn't even have math back then, but we knew already. So the cheat way, when you see Hopomau with the shells on the ground like that, the first thing he does, north, south, east, and west. And I told you guys how easy already. You know when the sun rises on this side, That's everything rises in the north. Everything rises in the east, and the stars are the same thing. They rise on the same side because the earth spins the same way. And then they set in the west. So that's the way your stars are going to move. Later on, you guys are going to learn the stars in each house. And that's how you're going to know when you navigate. Okay? So now, the bird represents the canoe on your guys' star chart. Okay? If the navigator is on the canoe, and say we want to go sail Samoa. Okay, where's Samoa? What if we're leaving California?
Southwest.
Yeah, southwest. Okay, so where is west? We gotta go west. West. Omaha. Okay, so we already know we're gonna go this way. How we know that?
The sun is setting.
The sun is setting, and all the stars are gonna be going that way. Okay. Later on, we're gonna find out which house we're gonna go into. You guys are gonna find out the winds, but this is how you guys have to know this basic way first. I thought we were gonna have more people. I was gonna have you guys be the canoe. Remember I told you guys there's a male side and a female side? The male side is always on the right pool, and the female side is always on the left. Okay? So if the navigator, I'm gonna cheat. Okay, I'm the navigator, okay? We're going Samoa, so you already know which way we're gonna go.
West.
Yeah, so where's north? That way. Where's south? Okay, the sun rises?
East.
Okay, and it sets in the
West.
So where's Samoa?
Southwest.
West. Okay, so you're gonna be going west, okay? So you already know you're gonna be traveling. So the navigator is gonna say you're gonna be traveling west on. You look at your houses.
225 degrees.
Manu, raise your hand. Manu. Raise your hand. Okay. Yep. So you're gonna travel. Okay, you the steersman. You're on the way. He tells you you're going Manu. Okay, so that's the way you're gonna go. Okay. You understand what I'm saying now?
I have a question.
Okay.
So you know the video that you were showing, you
Yeah.
got the one person pointing, is that what you're supposed to?
The navigator, he's checking how far the star is, or how far because we only can use the sun in the morning from when it rises to about 10 a.m. and when it sets, from 3 to when it sets. This is accurate. When it's up here, it's not accurate. So it's a little less accurate to navigate in the day than it is at night. It's more accurate because the stars never lie. The declination of the stars never move, so they're more accurate. But when you go into your training, what happens is, what if it's cloudy? Okay, so come back over here. But really, I'm just going over this, but this is what you guys have to concentrate on. You guys have to memorize this before you can go on to anything. Because each house on this side, if the stars are going to rise in this side, each house is going to rise in a different house. So if you don't know where your house is, then you can't go to the next level, which is learning how the stars. When you learn the patterns of the stars, the one star is going to rise here, one star is going to rise here. So you know that. But if it's cloudy, okay, I'm going to Samoa. I'm here. My navigator told me I'm going to Manu. Okay, I'm steering. Okay, it's at night. I'm going by the stars. Okay, I have to know what star is gonna set in Manu. If the star rises here, the star in Manu here rises in Manu. It's gonna set in Manu. Okay. If the star rises in La is tricky because the sun rises in La. So we have two laws. The reason why we have two laws is the sun moves in the summer down the winter time, and then it comes back up, the summer and winter solstice. So you know that by the dates. We know that now because of modern time. Okay, so if the sun rises in Aina, where on east, where's it gonna set? It's gonna set west in Aina. Okay, you guys get that? So this is why it's important. And then the degrees is another step. And then like I said, like south by southeast. That's just for modern, but you guys also need to know that, because if you do sail anywhere else in the world too, you guys need to know that. But this is helpful. This helps you guys remember. What is a canoe called? Someone, your vocabulary, good test. Good. Okay. So you guys understand that? I don't want to go further. I just want you guys to have that, and then the next class, if you guys have me come the next time, then we'll go further from that. But you guys got to learn this first.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So, like when you said they're sailing to Samoa, would I say, will I call out Komohana Manu because I'm going to the west and then the south?
You would, but it gets more advanced, because on there, you see on the outside there, I'm just going to explain it to you. We're not going to go into it. So these here, these are winds. Okay. So this is another interesting thing. Okay. So you guys all have this. You guys looking at this? Okay. So the quick way to learn this, you're gonna memorize north, south, east, west. Easy, right? Then you're gonna go manu. Okay? Memorize manu. Okay? After you memorize so right away you're gonna put, if you have to put this on the ground, you're gonna go north, south, east, west. You're gonna put a shell for north, south, east, west. Then you're gonna put manu, which is at 45 degrees. Whichever way you look at it, it's gonna be 45 degrees. You're gonna see Papa Mal, he puts sticks down like an X right off the bat. So right off the bat, how many houses is that already you know? 8 out of the way. Okay, so now what's left over? Okay, so now you gotta learn the two houses up from Manu and 2 houses down. Okay, so now we go from there. You know north, south, east, and west. You know Manu. Now Haka, you know Haka is in the north. Haka is on the side of north. Haka is on the side of south, right? East and west. La. La is there. La is that. Now how many you knocked out from there? 16. Now we're getting less now, right? So now you only got 2 on each side now, right? Okay, so now look at the start of this, okay? It goes clockwise, right? So from Ata, from north to east, okay? If you fold that over to the other side, looking at it, what is it? It's exactly the same, right? If you fold it down, it's exactly the same, right? We had this down. You know what I mean? We had this down. But so that's the trick, okay? Nobody else tell you guys the trick, but that's the easiest way to memorize it. North, south, east, west in Samoan, okay? Manu in Samoan, this is the same as Hawaiian throughout the whole Pacific. That's why it's like that. So you got north, south, east, west. You got the X, okay? Then you got Haka or Ata, north, south, and then you got La, east, west. Boom, you got those out of the way. Now you learn the 2 here, which is what?
Leo. Ata.
Naleo, yeah. Naleo, which is what is Leo?
Voice.
Okay, you guys can get this vocabulary down. What is next to Leo? Yeah, heavenly voice. Boom. How many houses you got knocked out already? That's 3 on Manu. 3 on Manu, because you already got north, south, east, west. You got Manu knocked out. You got Haka knocked out. You got La knocked out. You got the heavenly voice knocked out. And now you know Manu is a bird. And next to it is Gogo. Nono is another bird. So you know the birds are next to each other. Then after that, sorry, ours is Aina, ours is land. And boom, that's it. Memorize. Easy, eh? Thank you guys. Now, up for questions. Oh, I'll tell you guys something else. Okay, so the males, they go out to sea. Our warriors go out to sea for battle, okay? They come back, they tell the stories. But they also can die. That's part of it. The navigator is higher than the chief. The chief is the chief on the land. But when it comes to the canoe, the navigator. Why is the navigator so important? He knows where to go, but also he feeds the island. And if you catch all the fish in the island, which is happening now, because we don't have our chiefly system to put papus on to say when we should catch and how much we could catch, okay? Because now we're dealing with Western, we're dealing with the Chinese overfishing. But back then we had these things in place. So you had to go to another island, or say another island we know had turtles. We love our turtles, you know what I mean? So we're not gonna overfish where we live. So we're gonna sail out, okay? If they get storms, if they may not come back, they may die, right? So the woman is so important. There was always a woman in the village that had the knowledge. So it wasn't all for men, even though men and women were not allowed to sail, but that's changed now. But the reason why, so I noticed here, so you guys tattoos, anybody have on their legs here? Okay, so here they're symmetrical. When I went to Samoa, they're not symmetrical like they are here. I don't know why that is, but that's because those are star charts. Those are star charts passed down from family to family. So I'm just going to tell you some of your guys' history that I learned. To what today's date is, they're really symmetric. They really look nice. They really look good. But when you go to Samoa, I don't see it like that because it's passed. Those are star charts passed down, and that's the importance of the woman because there was always a woman that kept the knowledge. Okay, so I want to share that. Okay, so we can go back in. I can answer any more questions, and we can watch that last video of John Misty. And then I hope you guys enjoyed everything.
I have a question about the summer and winter solstice.
Summer and winter solstice.
That moves the sun left and right, east and west, east and west.
No, so the sun and the moon lie. Okay, we have a saying. The sun and the moon lie, the stars never lie. And that's one of the reasons why. But once you get more knowledge, you get the knowledge and you start memorizing, you also memorize the sun, the way the sun, when the sun sets, you know, there's always every day it'll set a little bit more, 11.25, it's now it's going to move so many degrees every day. But as you get more knowledgeable as a navigator, you know that. But certain times of the year, you know you really want to see. Okay, so winter time is actually safe. Not now, winter time. So when do we have hurricanes? This is island consciousness. All Pacific Islands. Spring and fall. Because the weather is fighting each other, right? The winter is coming in. That's when we get this turbulent weather. So we usually teach navigation during the winter time because it's cold. It's a steady, and you can see the stars, and it's clearer. It's not as cloudy. So wouldn't us as smart Pacific Islander people, we know when to sail or when not to sail. We know the seasons and when not to sail. The people of Rapa Nui, the winds only blew so they could get to Tahiti certain times of the year. You know what I mean? So but we kept that. That was our knowledge. Same thing like Aztec people. You'll notice most native people are moon and sun people. Most people, native people. So that's another thing that we share. We're all connected somehow. If you guys think of something else, let me know. Go inside. Oh, so Moana, the movie, okay? So they came from Nainoa. Okay, that's the only Hawaiian stuff in the movie. The rest is Tongan and Samoan. Canoes are okay. The rest is the whole thing. So when you see her, so when he's using his, so the sun is out. We're using the hand as to see how many degrees the star is off the horizon. So we're going to be using that more in the east, right? Because the stars are going to be in the east. So you can tell 6 degrees, 8 degrees, 10 degrees, 12 degrees. And then you go from there, you go on up more. You only can go so many. But that's to tell you how many degrees, or as we go more in advance, it gets more advanced. But that's how of a people we are. They say, oh, you guys didn't know how to do that. You guys didn't have math. Yeah, we use our finger. You know what I mean? It's like, so, and I'll tell you something else. So I'm on the ship, right? They all want to learn. Yeah, it's like cookie race. Same thing. The 11.5 degrees, the 11.25. Who's in Haka? Okay, your first house. You keep adding those up. When you add all those up, 22.5, okay? That's why I have that on there. So everybody calculates their hand. So 11.25 on my hand is from here to my first line on my finger, okay? I don't need math, for that, but I know. So when you see guys, they'll either be like this, or you'll see guys go like this, because they know this line is the one, so he'll crank his finger like that. And what he's doing, he's going down. So you guys are learning it now. I need to go, okay, I'm going north. Nah, I don't want to go. Too cold north. I can go back with my peoples, right? So, okay, north is behind me, I know. The other reason why I know I'm traveling at night, the Big Dipper is in front of me. The Big Dipper, you can find the North Star from the Big Dipper. We're going to learn all this later, okay? I'm coming down, I'm going into Hema, okay? Say I want to go Samoa, okay? But the winds is blowing this way. You cannot fight the winds. You cannot fight the waves. What is the word for wave?
Nalu.
Nalu. Okay, I'm telling you, you guys are gonna learn this vocabulary, okay? Nalu is the same in Hawaiian. The wind is blowing me into Haka, okay? I cannot. Once you get good, you start estimating the speed of the canoe. From the speed of the canoe and the time that you're traveling in that, you can know the distance throughout the day. You can go between most like 200 something miles. Okay? So the winds are blowing me out of Manu. I cannot go Manu, even though that's the course I need to go. But the winds, I'm fighting the winds and I'm fighting. You cannot fight the winds. You gotta go. So I have to estimate as a navigator. The winds are forcing me to go into Haka for 1 hour. So 1, 2, and 3 houses off. Okay? So every house, every degree per hour is miles. I have to estimate how many miles I'm going off course for how many hours. The winds changed. I went 1 hour in Haka. Now I'm traveling in Maleo. So it's a little bit less I'm off. I still need to calculate from Haka. I still need to calculate how many hours, how many miles I was going in Maleo. But now the winds are going to shift back so I can get into Manu. But I have to remember as a navigator how many miles I was off. I got to make those miles up. See how important these are and why.
Then you know what bigger fish are going to come eat that other one. So certain times of the year you need more omega-3, so you need to know what oilier fish, like aku or ahi, is going to come and eat the other smaller fish. We had it down. We lived out in the most secluded area in the world. We had to have this down. The other thing is, what people don't understand here, is we know how to live with one another. Try being on a canoe that's only 72 feet long by 18 feet wide with 14 people. Even though some of us don't get along with each other, I know they all got my back for survival. And we know how to get along, because it's in our culture to know how, so we have a saying, the canoe is an island, the island is the canoe, because we have to live with one another. So, us people of the Pacific, we know how to do that. So we're perfect. Where the rest of the people, they're having that issue right now. And that's one of the problems that we're up against, is because now we live on a continent. We get fed up with our whoever, our family member, we just go move somewhere else. It's not a solution, and it doesn't solve the problem. It will solve it temporarily. But I give you guys something else to think about that. I want to play this John one.
Canoe, a canoe represents a purpose built for well-being. Talofa Mose. My name is John Miski, and I am of Tokelauan and Samoan descent. I've been a part of this Pororo community from when I was 6 years old when I arrived here from the islands. It was different. I no longer spoke Tokelauan, or I couldn't hear the language being spoken as much because it's now English, of course. And going to school, I had to learn English. My knowledge around sailing in Tokelau, I remember sailing with my dad as a little kid, and at that time one of the sounds that you heard every day was the old men and their ads. They were still sailing canoes and they were still carving canoes. So that's my childhood memories of canoe. Back in 2008, I went to Samoa, and it was around Christmas, and at that time in Samoa, the Samoan Voyaging Society was just developing, and in 2009 we came to Auckland for a Voyaging Society meeting of the Pacific, and through that I got an opportunity to sail around the Pacific on Te Mano and Te Moana in 2010, 11 and 12. So that is how I got my sailing background. On a personal note, in terms of Le Tava, it's a project that I've been working on over the last 3 years, and it's a promise I made to my grandma back in 2003 when grandma was still alive. She passed away in 2005, and I wasn't able to fulfill my promise to her. My first canoe I built in 2004 when grandma was still alive. And then when she passed and things happened, that canoe didn't eventuate. And then I tried again. After I came back from my voyage, I tried again. And that didn't eventuate. And then in 2014, I tried again. And again, it didn't eventuate. So in Christmas 2016, I tried for one more time because I was about to give up. But this time, the only thing I did different was I went to engage. I told my mum, we need to go to see the minister to come and bless this project. This also is part of the building of the va'a process, because it's not you by yourself. You're not building this in isolation. This is what it's about now, why I'm doing this, building this canoe, is to fulfill a promise I made to grandma. In terms of the parts of the va'a, you have a hull, which is the body of the canoe.
Kena, kila, kiluma.
Traditionally, it was carved, and the hull of the va'a has a keel, which is like the foundation on which the whole canoe is built on. And then it's lashed. The lashing of the canoe is very, very important. The biggest emphasis on that is safety, because the lashing connects all the different parts of the canoe. It holds everything together. If you didn't lash it properly and you went out and you were sailing out and the lashing came apart, that's how important it is. The saying goes, you lash that canoe and build the canoe like your life depended on it, because it did. When you went out to the ocean, you had to make sure you returned, otherwise you're on a one-way trip.
Kila, kiluma. Taunuku. 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 Tokelau.
You have cross beams that come across of that, which is the kiato. And then those cross beams are then lashed to a spoke that is driven into the ama to be held there. And the ama, of course, represents what the balance is of. It balances the canoe. In a way, it also represents. It can represent your father on your Samoan side, and your mother on your Tokalaan side. So it can represent who you are as a person, and the canoe is the balance of who you are. Traditional sails are made of pandanus leaf. It's woven together. And again, this is where the canoe, in terms of building a canoe, is not just about the men. It's also the women who weave the sail. So it's that working partnership and relationship where the women have their work as well as the men, but put together onto a canoe. It's a, like I said, it's a craft built for a purpose. And the sail itself represents propulsion going forward, because that's what catches the wind and helps push the canoe forward. It's going to be special when that time comes. It's going to be very special. It means I'm very, very close to the finish line. And the finish line, of course, would be taking the canoe out and testing everything and make sure it's safe, from the sail to the lashing, to the balance, to the ama, to the kiatos, and making sure everything is safe. That for me then is the finishing line. It means I've built this canoe safely for everyone. It's a metaphor for how you move forward. It's an icon of an oceanic peoples of the Pacific. It represents cultures. It represents languages. It represents traditions. It represents knowledge. And it represents family and connections. And so the support of my family and the community, I have no words to describe how important that is as part of my build. I'm encouraged by the fact that we have guys like you, the Polynesians, Māoris, working in these environments, in these places, and helping us as Polynesians, as Pacific Islanders, as Māoris, in terms of developing strategies. So to the council, I would say, in a sense, you guys are builders as well. You're building this canoe for a voyage. And in saying that, what would this canoe look like? What would the kio look like? What would the kiato represent? What would the ama represent? Because all those different parts, what would the lashing represent in building your Pacific strategies? So these are very, very, very important questions to ask yourselves in building your craft. In that sense, it helps to share the knowledge. And so that's where I'd like to leave off, and thank you for this time.
Natamamata elua mama la tele penina ngila iloto e pui pui loto
just wanted to, at the end of this beautiful presentation, just to let him know how much we appreciate this opportunity. You can see the different layers, the levels of understanding that we can achieve when we understand the simple concept of creating a community. You relate that to your life, your family, your community. You don't have good lashings, you don't have a big sail, your boat's not doing anything. Or you can sail out and sink. So, you know, this is the beauty of these lessons. Thank you very much. And we will have more classes on these topics. This is just an introduction. So for those who want to get in depth, we're going to definitely have more classes. And we will, you know, each of these topics will be expanded into a more in-depth lesson. We really appreciate everybody that's here, especially members of our organization who have been here to provide food and set up everything. And we hope that you all remember that one rule, concept of our culture that we all have about at the end. And so we can move everything back, get it done quickly. More hands and easier. But I appreciate everybody being there. Okay.
Thank you guys once again. Thank you, Carl. It was a good day today. Good day today. You know, we're gonna get out and enjoy the sun and all that stuff. So, next class, take a break next week. We all traveling, I think, next week, right? So that's local week. Oh, it's a White Sunday. You guys know what Sunday is? What is that inside? Yeah, what's Sunday? Oh, that's a Sabbath pie. Sabbath pie. White Sunday in Samoa is a very special day for the young kids. You know, you get to do your locals, your speeches, and the churches do all those good stuff, like the stories and about the Bibles and all that. You know, it's great for you guys to go back home and see that stuff. It's just like in a movie. You know, I think that's one of where the start of the Dwayne, usually the rock starts from, and do all the other stuff, like myself. I've been in a couple movies, but you know, low budget. There's a movie in Oakland when I was living in New Zealand, in Oakland, called The Queen City Robbery. It was shooting in downtown Oakland. It was 1985. The Queen City Robbery, there was a lot of some guys in there. It was like a cancer kind of movie. And then there was another one shooting back in the islands, something Paradise that I auditioned, but I didn't pick it. So it was good. This talking about the White Sunday. It's all. I think it's all these big stars like Brad Pitt and all. He's a cousin of mine and all that stuff. They all started from all these good dramas and all. You got to go to Hollywood and make a name for yourself and all that good stuff. So we got the welcome talk coming up. We talk more about the next class in number 19, which is the cooking. Samoan food. We got a couple guys back here that's going to teach us how to do the panusabi, the wau, and the chop suey. They call it chop suey, the sapasuy. So it's going to be good. We got to do this stuff, cook this stuff, and then bring it over here, and then we're going to eat it. So let's wrap things up today. Thank you for coming out. We're gonna close it today with prayer. That's all. You can tell the tour mato joy. We yellow film and they tell you for my mato. Same, but I tell you, Pātai koe lo paso mai te mātou ia rea sa tai au, I le loko mo lo malei. Swapa Yesu. Amen. Amen. Yeah. Okay, tomorrow is Sunday. Let's all go where? You got it.